Bueno, mi gente, vamos para allá. Espérenme ahí. Vamos a retroceder acá. Boom. Vamos a empezar de aquí. Vamos a ver aquí. Y vamos a ver aquí. Y vamos a empezar aquí. Ay, hijo de madre, dijo ID. Ay, hijo de madre. Hold on. That's not it. El link no está funcionando. Hold on. 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Hold on. Es el mismo. Okay, let's see. Credit plus. Vamos a ver. Come on. Let's go. Move. Come on, let's get it. Let's get going. Okay. Okay, so credit.
What he really has put together in terms of information, wow, we're able to help so many people all over the country, and he's going to break things down to the detail to be able to understand more about the rent-to-own option. So without further ado, I'd like to bring here our regional director. Obviously, she's an expert in real estate. She is an expert in network marketing. She's an expert in all our services that we have. And she also specializes in understanding more about the credit restoration program that we have to be able to help our clients. So without any further ado, Ana Rodriguez has been a partner of mine in the industry of network marketing for the last 8 years, and it's been a true honor to work alongside her. She has achieved six-figure income ranking positions with previous providers. She's knocking on the door to 6 figures over here. She's about to walk the ducks ring with MWR. So without further ado, Regional Director Ana Rodriguez. Amazing information earlier today, wasn't it? So let's hear it now again.
Incredible.
And let's take some more notes.
Thank you, Fernando. Good evening, everyone, and welcome here. Welcome to this platform. Like Fernando was saying, we just caught the other Zoom. Like we were having so much information, and we just were able to answer like 3 or 4 questions. And definitely, we have brokers in the Zoom. We have another realtors, and then Norvin has to go back again, come back with us because the information is tremendous, guys. So we don't want to take any of your time because I know on the other Zoom, like it was so much to learn. It was so much. So you guys still have time to send the invitation, send the text. If you see like somebody that you usually see on the Zooms on Saturday, you don't see them here because we're using a different link tonight. Make sure that you send the link because you don't want that person to miss this information. This information is going to be gold, guys. Like we're talking about how we are going to pass the right information, how we're going to be closing more clients, how we're going to be making more commissions, right? So definitely write your questions because they're going to be answered at the end because we don't want to take time from him. And let's bring right now the expert Norvin Madrid in the house. Norvin, the platform is all yours.
All right, thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks everybody, and thanks to everyone here present, given the chance and the opportunity to actually step up and say, hey, I want to learn more about this great opportunity. And hey, I want to be able to learn more so I can actually help a lot more of my clients and be able to be of service to them as well. Okay, so, well, my background, real estate. I grew up in the industry. I love it. I used to do a lot of flips before. My uncle and I, we pretty much did 24 flips in a year. I'm not into flipping anymore unless I actually see there's going to be 100K or more. Now, let's jump right on it. So I'll make sure, I get everybody's question answered and make sure we don't leave anyone hanging. In the previous one, it was so many questions. I just want to make sure we get to it. So I'm going to just get to the cheese, baby. All right. So thanks so much for being here. And that says a lot about yourself and your commitment to helping people change their lives. And for that same reason why you help changing lives, changing your pockets, and creating a better financial freedom and leaving ultimately a legacy, which is what you're really going to be after. All right, so that being said, we're going to start with the people that can't qualify. So when I say can't qualify, I mean like the people that doesn't have an ITIN number, IEIN number. So these might be people coming from out of the States. These might be people from Central America, people from South America, people from Europe, you name it. We have a lot of people here. We have a lot of international community, and you can really tap into this community, help them out, and help yourself as well. All right, so that being said, so you might have, now and then, people that can't qualify for a loan, or they want to get a house, but you can't really do it because they don't have a social security or they don't have an EIN number or ITIN number. So now you can. So I'm going to be adding a lot of gold nuggets to your belt so that way you can help them out. So a lot of people will come to you and they say, hey, I want to get a house. I don't have a social security number. I don't have an EIN number. So now you'll be able to say, hey, you know what? Traditionally, I will not be able to help you, but now we just partnered up with an amazing company, whatever you want to name us. We're just definitely amazing, and we help a lot of people. So now you can say, hey, how much money do you got to work with, So most of the time, these people have a lot of money, deep pockets. That is just based on my own experience dealing with the Latino community and dealing with people from all over. Now, keep in mind, these people have been thinking of achieving homeownership, but they're just scared. They're skeptical. So with these people, you have to take a different approach. You have to actually educate them to make sure that they actually gain your trust, and then they can start spilling the beans and telling you, hey, those $5,000 I told you about, well, it's not really 5,000. It's more like 20,000. And then if I get my uncle who's want to come and live with me, and I get my aunt, and I get my buddy, and I get somebody else, it's want to be more like $80,000. That is just based on experience. So keep in mind that you're going to be tapping on that experience. 20%, if you're an agent, you're going to be getting 20% of that money that they bring to the table, up to a full 3% commission. Now, all of these people that are coming in that doesn't have a social security or EIN number, we can still get them a house. We can get them into a house. They can get into our zero down program where they can, if they don't have enough of a 3.7% down payment, they can actually get and open up an account with us and start creating the fund. So that way they can be ready to move up to the first step. Now, that being said, the second step will be the people that wants to do rent to own. So if you want to do rent to own, you need to have a requirement is 3.7%. So that 3.7% will get you qualified for rent to own. So let's say, for example, roughly a house is going to be worth $100,000, right? If you're talking about Miami, you can buy a kayak with $100,000. Now, 3.7 of that will be $3,700. So they come up and they move up to one of their houses. Now, once we get them qualified, they're going to be involved in the process. We will not, I repeat that, we will not buy a house that you have not looked at. We will not buy a house that you haven't seen. We will not buy a house that you don't like. Our process is pretty simple. You're involved in the whole process. So you're going to start looking for houses. And probably houses that are distressed, probably houses that they have not cut the grass, probably houses that they just may need a little pressure wash, or you see that they just run down houses. You're going to be looking for houses for sale by owner as well. And as a last option, we're going to be looking also at MLS properties. Now, 3.7, when you're going to look for a house, you give us those addresses. We're going to track these people down. We have the whole team to track them down. And if for some reason we can't track them down, we have another department. It's kind of like a PI. It's kind of like a private investigator kind of thing for our collection. So we're going to get them. And we're going to contact them people, put an offer on your behalf if they want to sell. And if they want to sell and they say, yes, I want to sell, we're going to lock it up. We're going to put it under contract. And then we're going to call you. We got this property under contract. Come take a look at it. We will not purchase the property unless you like the property. You agree that that is the property that you like. And most importantly, that fits your budget. We will not put you in a house that you cannot afford. Now, Once you look at the property, you say, yes, I want it, we purchase. You say, no, I don't want it. We go to the second one on the list. If they say, yes, I want it, we purchase. If all of them say no, we just don't buy it. We only purchase properties for the program. Now, if you don't have enough of a down payment, meaning the 3.7% in a $100,000 house example will be $3,700. If you do not have that money, but you have skills, and you can fix something, maybe you can fix a bathroom, maybe you can fix the sheetrock, maybe you can fix the flooring, maybe you can fix whatever, whatever needs to be done. So most of these houses, they do need something to be fixed. So what we do in that case is just like, okay, so let's use this example, Becky. So, hey, Becky, so I understand you only have $2,000 to work with, and your income is great, and we know that you can pay the monthly, but you're just not there on the down payment. We're going to work with you. And so how that works is our work for equity. So the way that our work for equity works is the following. So some of those houses may need some repairs. Some of the houses, they do not need any repairs. You can say you can do some, or you can do all of the work, right? So if you get some, you get credit for that. If you do all of it, you get credit for all of that as well. Instead of us as a company having to come and get a contractor to come and do the work, we give you credit. So let's say, for example, somebody comes up and say, hey, Norvin, it's going to be $10,000 to fix this property. We get a second contractor says it's going to be $12,000, and then we get somebody else that says it's going to be $20,000. So at that point, we know it's going to be between $10,000 and $20,000 to fix the property. So in the real world, we as a company have to come out of pocket to fix the property. Yes, we can. Of course, if you want us to fix it up, we'll fix it up for you. Now, just keep in mind that the 3.7 is going to go up because now the property, once it's fixed up, the price goes higher. Now, if you, for example, are like one of our clients that they know how to do roofing, they do roofing for a living, and the house that you want to move in does not need any repairs, you can actually do work in another property and get that credit transferred to that property you're trying to move into. All right, so we have a lot of folks like that. We have a lot of folks that they do a lot of rehabs. They can actually go and do some work in one of our other houses and transfer that to your house. We have a lot of solutions. We are a solutions-based company. So all of our programs have been developed over the years based on our clients' needs. So this is how we created the VIP. This is how we created the work for equity, because we know we can help a lot more people if we do it this way. A lot of people, they don't have all of the down payment, maybe not just yet. And we also understand not everybody has a good credit score. Not everybody has a perfect credit score. And a lot of people out there, they don't even know what a credit score is. So anybody can come to our program. If they want to get rent to own, it's going to be 3.7% of the property value. Anything below that is going to be our VIP list. Our VIP list, you have an agreement with us, and that we do it just to help you move up the ladder and be able to achieve home ownership. So if you have less than 3.7%, we need to get on a phone call. We need to do a consultation, because I'm pretty sure I might be able to find out another way to find that 3.7. And that is just based on experience, because most of the time what we find out is that you're just thinking selfishly about yourself and what you have in your pocket. You're not thinking about your friend, your co-worker, your girlfriend, your neighbor. You're not thinking about your family. There is always, it's been my only experience, that there's always someone that's willing to do whatever it takes to help you get there. We have kids that their parents, I don't know if is it that their parents doesn't want them in their house anymore, but there's parents that have stepped up and paid their down payment. So there's a lot of solutions. So my saying is always, how can I help you get there? How can I help you achieve that? And if you're blocked out and you say, no, this is all I have, I'm gonna ask you questions. If I had to become a financial advisor, if I have to become a PI with you, I'm gonna ask you all of the questions to make sure I get you there. Now, if you don't have that enough down payment, I understand, and you're going to go through that VIP. But I want to explore every single option to make sure you're qualified within reason and within your budget. I'm not going to place you in a house that is $300,000 house and you're only bringing in $1,000. That's not going to work. This is not Section 8. We do take Section 8. There is nothing on Section 8 law that says that this money, a brochure cannot be used, a voucher cannot be used towards your house. Yes, there's nothing that prevents from you using that brochure to come and pay us for the house. As far as you have the down payment, most of the time we'll be able to fix something up where we most likely going to be able to make it happen. If you're on Section A or you have clients on Section A, you know that the government is covering most of that down payment or most of that payment, but they're still got to cover up just a little bit. They can get a part-time, they can get somebody in the house. There's options. There's always an option if you're committed to make this happen. Now, our next program above the 3.7% down, which is rent to own, and once again, we will only purchase a property that you say, yes, I love it, yes, I'm in it, yes, I see myself living in this property, yes, I see myself raising my kids over here, yes, I see myself fixing this property, and we're going to make sure that when you say, yes, I can, we're going to verify that. The way we're going to do that is just making sure who you're going to be bringing into the property to do the work, and that is all for your protection as well ours, because we will not put you in a house that is inhabitable, that you cannot live in it, and you just for desperation trying to get into a house are going to raise your hand and say, yes, I like it. That doesn't work that way. We have a criteria, we have requirements. We want to make sure that our program keeps standing out from the rest of them out there. Our program is unique, and this is how we do it. We will only put you in a house that you can afford, that you like, and that you have approved yourself. Now, the next step up is going to be seller finance. So seller finance is for those people that have 10% down. So if you have a client that has 10% down, I don't care if they don't have a good credit. I don't care if they have any credit at all. I don't even care if they don't know what the definition for credit is. We can get you in a house if they have the 10%, and you as an agent, if you're an agent, going to be collecting 20% of that commission, 20% of the money they bring to the table, up to a full 3% commission. Now, once they are on our seller finance level, they can stay with us or go to the bank. What we have found is that most of the time they just stay with us. We always have a couple of here and a couple of there that they say, hey, you know, I kind of like Wells Fargo and I want to go to Wells Fargo. And I always ask them, why? Why? Well, because I like them. Why? Well, you know, because they're close. Why? Well, because I'm banking with them. Why? Does that bring you any benefit? No, that does not bring you any benefit. So what we will do is ask you to get a pre-approval letter. Once you get a pre-approval letter and you have been a good client with us, we most likely are going to ask you to bring us that approval letter to make sure that we match it up to keep you with us as a client, because we already know that you have been a good client, and as any business we will want to keep you and keep on helping you down the line. So we are here to work with you, we are here to work for you, and we're here to help you fit your needs. Once again, it has to stay within your budget. We will not place you in a house that you cannot afford. Now, so that explains the seller finance. So at that point that you have seller finance, which means 10% of the property value, you do not have to go anywhere else. If you decide to stay with us, it's totally up to you. If you decide to go, you can go at any time. Now, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to go back to the rent to own to clarify a couple of things that I'm pretty sure some of you are having, and that is the following. So on a rent to own, once you have the 3.7% of the property value and we get the house and you like the house, you approve the house, we purchase the house. Now, at that point, you have 36 months. You have 3 years. You have a total of 3 years to move up to the next level. Now, every time that you're paying on time, as you're supposed to be doing it, and as you will do it anywhere else, even if you're a renter and even if you're living in your mom's couch, you still have your pay your dues every month at the time that you're supposed to do. That is just reality, and that is just responsibility. Once you do that in time, every time and every month that you're paying on time, you're going to be getting $100 credit. It's not a cash money. Don't call me and say, hey, Melvin, you know, here's my routing, here's my account number, I got cash up, how you want to do it? It's not cash. It's going to be a credit. It's an incentive for us to you to help you move up to the next level. Our commitment is to help you achieve homeownership, and that's just one of the ways that we help you do that. We have many things and we have many classes, and we are committed to help you achieve homeownership. So at the end of the 36 months, you say, hey, you know, I'm ready. You have 36 months. Within 36 months, you can move up to the 10% and achieve homeownership, achieve seller finance through the company, or you can go to the bank. If you have done everything, all of the docs that you were supposed to do, if you have done every single thing that you were supposed to do, it's not going to take you 3 years to get an awesome credit. It's not. Be honest. Let's be honest. Now, what we have found that most of the people, they forget to do this, they forget to pay their credit card, they forget to make this payment. Little things like that is what keep you in the place that, some of them are, not saying everybody. Now, that is why we have designed this program up to 36 months, because we want to make sure we give you enough time for you to actually be able to achieve this dream of homeownership. And we understand that things might happen in life at any time. You have any issue, you have any hardship, you have any problems, you have to get in touch with us. So us together can see how can we help you, how can we navigate this situation. Don't just hide, don't just do nothing. That is the worst that you can do. You need to reach out to us and let us know what is going on. And if at any point you're in the house and you don't like the house that you qualify for, an example, so we have Jose in Plant City, Florida. So he got into a mobile home. He does not like the mobile home anymore because he makes more money. Now he's got more income. Now he's got more of a down payment. So he can move up, and you guys can do it too. You guys can move up to a higher house if that's what you can afford. Once again, it has to be within your budget. If you can afford something bigger, we will most likely help you get that bigger house. And if you have been paying this house, let's say an example, you bought a house for $100,000, now you have paid, let's say $20,000, so you still owe $80,000, but you have built that equity. If you were to sell the house on the market, you have some selling costs. There's always a cost to sell a property. There's sometimes for people that they just bought a property and they're trying to turn it around and sell it, might not make sense to sell their house because they have to come up out of pocket for closing costs. So at that point, you come and you say, hey, I like the house and I want to move to the house. We're going to work with you on that differential that you have. We're only going to take out closing costs, and most likely we're going to be able to keep the house that you have and give that differential towards another house that you like. You can use it as credit, you can use it as cash. It's really up to you what you do with the money. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the market. So the market is always want to do their thing. I have no control of what the market is going to do. I have people for a couple of years, I have people for 4 years telling me the market is going to crash and they are not going to buy a house and they are still going to be renting because the market is about to crash. Okay, let me tell you something. Maybe you've been in a bumper car and you crash. What do? You just keep it going. That is the same thing that is going to happen to the economy, and that is the same thing that happens all the time. The economy goes down, the economy goes up. We have not control of that. Now, if you're like one of those people thinking like, should I get into a house? I don't know, I'm not sure. That is your decision. And if you have a spouse, make sure you and your spouse sit down together, because this is not a decision that you're going to take yourself. It's always best for the two of you to sit down together and make that decision. Now, if you have more family members over the age of 18 that are going to be combining their income to be able to achieve homeownership, you have to have this conversation with all of them. All of you have to be in the same page. And at any time that you buy a house and the house goes up in value or whatever it does, you are at that price. We have an agreement for 100. If the market went up to 300, that is your equity. That means we have a contract, we have an agreement, and that's how it goes. If the market, you decide, well, in 36 months, I do not want to do it, I do not want to move forward with it, absolutely no problem, no harm. We have some of those as well. This program is not for everybody. We are solution-based on our clients, and we will work with you regardless of your situation to make sure if you don't have enough on our VIP list to help you grow your down payment to the 3.7% instead of buying that new iPhone or just going a trip to wherever you want to go. Homeownership is important, and homeownership should be one of your vital, if not one of the most important goals in your life, regardless of whether you believe that housing is still alive or you don't want to have a house. You can leave it as a legacy for your kids. You don't know what the future is going to bring. You need to start now. And for those of you that sometimes call me, well, I'm 84. So I had a guy calling me, I'm 84. I don't think I should get a house. Let me tell you something. Today is the youngest that you will ever be. And if you get a house today, I don't care if you're 80 or if you're 90, that house is going to be building up. none of that is going to be building up in your apartment complex. So we have Anthony unmuted. So if at any time you fix your credit and you decide to go through the bank, you can absolutely do that. If tomorrow you have enough money to move up to the 10%, you can get seller finance, you can get financing through the company. If tomorrow or within a month or a month later your credit is good, up and running, you want to go through the bank, you can absolutely do that as well. We have no restrictions, we have no contingencies. We are here to make sure that you win this homeownership game. So there is absolutely no reason why you will not be able to make it. That is no reason at all. We provide the tools, we provide the training, we even give you incentives to be able to move up at that next level. If you stay with us 36 months, that is going to be $3,600 worth of credit for you to move up to your next level. So we absolutely provide everything. Now, I'm gonna touch a little bit about our people here as an agent. All right, so again, if you're a real estate agent, now you can help anyone and pretty much everyone if they are committed to achieve homeownership. Remember that you cannot please or help everyone. So I just want to get that clear. So now when you're doing your local meetings and you're doing your buyers meeting and you're doing all this kind of different meetings, I want you to add something else to your marketing. No IT, no Social Security, approved or qualified. Now, how are we able to do that? Is because we have a huge Latino community in the US that is not being served. Is the underserved, and we want to make sure we help and serve the underserved. How are you going to do that? Now you have a tool that you can. So you get someone that needs a house, wants a house, and have already raised their hand and say, hey, I want a house, I want to achieve homeownership. I got down payment money, but I don't have a Social Security number. I got down payment, but I'm not here as I'm supposed to be, or I don't have, an IAN number or IT number. You come up with them people, you tell them, yes, now I can help you. I was not able to do that in the past, now you can. And you are going to get 20% of the money that they bring up to the table, up to a full 3% commission. So I don't see how are you going to be getting this leads get away. I don't care if they're from South, Central, or wherever they are. Now you can help. And now, if you do me a favor, you go back to your list, prospects or leads, or we call it members, whatever you want to call them, people that you probably worked with in the past and you were not able to help, and you probably turn them away. Go fix your credit, get a couple of credit cards, get a couple of utility bills on your name, maybe get somebody else to add you up to as an authorized user on a credit card, or piggyback on somebody else's. You don't have to do that anymore. You're going to get in touch with them and you're going to say, hey, Johnny, hey, Marie, hey, Josie, I was just thinking about you. And guess what? Thinking about me, we all love to be a special, right? So as a special as we like to feel, so what? She was just thinking about me? Okay, now you're going to say, yes, I was. So remember that back then I was not able to get you nothing. I was not able to get you qualified. And truly within me and within my heart, I wanted to help you. I was not able to do that before. But I just came across this awesome program. It's called Path to Homeownership. I've been learning and I've been educating myself and I've been taking these classes, these trainings. These people can actually help you get into a house, and they don't care about your credit. They do not care about your social status, immigration status. You know why? We care about you achieving homeownership. We help families and individuals achieve homeownership regardless of their background or financial history to end up with American dream of homeownership. So yes, we can help those people, and you can get paid for that as well. So that being said, I don't know if Anna wants to have any questions, or you guys just want to jump and say, shoot me in and do whatever you guys want to do. I want to make sure I'm here to serve you and answer as many questions as I can, and be here at your service and provide as much value as I can.
That was amazing, Norby. Like today earlier, I know we have some realtors in the house that they may have questions. Let's see if they want to open their microphone, and because we have time. Besides the other one,
I was trying to run and make sure I was able to do this. Go ahead.
Now is
Anna,
the time. Yes.
Anna, before we proceed with questions from the audience, I know that there's questions in the chat, and we do see Migdalia asking how this program works in Puerto Rico. Please, we have a lot of people from the island.
You want me to start with that one?
Yes, sir. No,
All right.
Thank you so much. You have been phenomenal, very transparent, very fluent. The information that you share with us really flows, so we can all understand it. And I guess if we hear you a few more times, and the good thing about it is it's being recorded. I'm gonna go through the recordings just to kind of take some more notes. But we really appreciate what you provided for us today. Hold on, Anthony keeps opening up the mic. All right, so yeah, go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you so very much. So as you can tell, I've been doing this for a little bit. So I love what I do. I love helping people. I love getting in the phone and seeing how can I make, and open up a way and, open up possibilities. I always say that we go with our blinders on and we only know what we know. And there's things that we don't know. And there's things that we do not know that we do not know. And those are the things that most of the time are in our way and are obstacles that we need to go over, under, up, with a ladder, around, or whichever way to make sure we achieve success. Now, that being said, let's go to Dalia. So Dalia, she's awesome. We've been working together. We've been doing a lot of Zoom, a lot of training. And my whole goal is for her to be a complete specialist into this and be able to help and provide the right information to all of her clients. Now, Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico and California is a different animal. However, we do have people throughout the United States, and we are working on getting someone locally in Puerto Rico. That does not mean that we do not serve Puerto Rico. So we can do this anywhere in the U.S. virtually, right? So right now I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I can look at a house for a client in Massachusetts. Get on the phone with the agent, do a Zoom. Now we got all of this technology that allow us to do just that. Now, that being said, so I think we have a couple of people over there. I have not find out who they're going to be assigned. However, I think we have been talking back and forth with, I think it's Noelia, if I'm 100% sure. So yes, we are working on figuring out how can we get her a house, and we need to find out where she financially. I think she's working on it, and once we get it, we're going to be able to work and find somebody that's going to help you with it. Now, remember that EXP, well, I'm part of EXP. I'm a realtor as well, but I do not get compensated because I work for the company and I act as a principal in the transaction. Now, it's so easy for me to get in the phone and find somebody through EXP locally in Puerto Rico, get on the phone, do a Zoom, present myself, promote what I'm doing, and from there, just start talking about numbers and see how much we can get a house for. And if it fits within those qualifications, we are going to work and do our best to help her get a house.
Excellent. Your level of confidence again, Alvin, really leaves us like, wow. Because if there's a will, there's a way. And, you believe in what you're doing, and, you've elaborated enough with so many details that, because the details is what makes sense for a lot of folks to make a decision, a wise decision in moving forward in the renting to own options. So again, we thank you so much for this information. And we see more questions on the chat. Another one, Novin, is how can I have access to the recording? So I guess it goes for Mr. Wendell Philp. So Mr. Wendell Philp, if you can provide us with the recording, which he always does, thank you. The next question comes from a Samsung, SM phone. How does the title be held? How does the title be held, and what about 1098 tax reporting at the end of the year?
Okay, so is he talking about, let's start with the taxes. So he's talking about reporting taxes as far as like what kind of taxes? Okay, if you can unmute and elaborate on it just a little bit, we can absolutely get on and make sure we get it right. So Samsung 301, Fernandez Ramirez. Oh, that's you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can give him.
If not, let's move up to the next one and have him raise the hand so that way we make sure, we get him clarified. I don't want to say something else and quote something that is not right.
Yeah. Anyone else has any questions? Feel free to open up your microphone, raise your hand.
Well, guys, a lot of you should have a lot of questions. Keep in mind, you guys are going to be working with the community. and you want to be the expert when you're talking. You don't want to be like, hey, I don't know that, let me figure it out, let me find out, because that client is trusting on you. If you don't have the right answer at that moment, that client is want to go with somebody else, and you must forget about your commission or forget about helping that guy or gal.
Okay, you heard. We got the expert right here. If the questions come afterwards, it's going to be a lot harder to get the answers. Might as well take advantage of that opportunity that we have now, Nolan here with us, to answer any questions. It looks like we might have to create a private group there to.
Okay, absolutely. I just want to make sure.
There's another question there. There's actually two questions there.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Lovey, I think it was first, and then Credit Plus after.
Okay. They're asking. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Excellent. Thank you, Anna. So I have two questions actually. The first one, we talked about the individual going to look at the house and saying, yes, I want it. Is there any inspections or anything that needs to be done?
Of course, like anything else, there's inspection that has to be done. The thing that holds, if you're talking about the length of time, normally what takes the longest is just title. Once we get clear title, an inspection went through and we get clear title, we can close on that property as far as you like it. You say, yes, I like this house.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely,
Second
my
question.
pleasure. And is that Lovey?
Yes, Lovey.
Lovey.
And the second,
Awesome.
The second question
Sure.
was, you mentioned, let's see if I have it written down here.
Write it down, guys. Let this be an example. Write it down, because you'll forget. You lost the train of thought because you find something more important and you're going to lose it. Write it down.
No, I
Go ahead,
actually
Lovey.
wrote it down. I just have to find it in my notes.
Yes, I know you have a lot of them. That's great. That talks a lot about you and your commitment. Go ahead.
Okay, 1 second here. You talked about, oh gosh, where is it closing? Okay. On the contract, you said the house, the value of the house may increase.
Yes.
And you said, but you're under contract. Does that mean that the contract that you're under, whatever that dollar amount was for that contract, it stays there, or does it?
So
change?
Lovey, let's go back to the rental. And so you come to me and you get a house on rent to own, right? You come with 3.7% of the down of that property value. 100,000, 3,700, 200. Just double it up. Now, if you have 36 months to pull the trigger. If at any time the house goes up in value, especially in this crazy market that we're having, we have people in Austin, Texas that bought a house for nothing pretty much, and now now the market's changing, but the houses went up so much in value. We have people in Phoenix, we have people in California. So wherever you are in the country, we don't care, and we don't care. The only thing that we care is once we get it, you're locked at that price. That is your price. That is your commitment. You came over here and you got it for 100,000. If the property went up to 200,000, we have people making a lot of money. We have no contingencies. We have a lot of people that call me up. How does this program compare to that program? Bring me in and we'll figure it out. We have nothing to hide. The way that we do this is so transparent. This is why our people love us so much. This is why our people keep us sending those family members, referrals, and people from all over. We have no contingencies, and you can move up to the next level at any time. And you can also, if you decide you're Wells Fargo and you want to go to Wells Fargo and they qualify you for it and you don't want to stay with us, at any time, a month, a day later, if you get qualified and you want to go, you're more than likely. And I'll be crying for Lovey and I'll be missing you, all of that, and I'll be sending you letters. But if you can go and that's your desire, we are with you all the time. Now, if you want to stay with us, my goal for me will be like, hey, Lovey, why do you want to go? I like Wells Fargo. Why? I just want to go. Why? I'm going to ask you 20 times why until I figure out why. Well, I'm not sure. I just think, and I was raised with this thought that you have to go through the bank. That is what I found out from most of our clients, that they raised with this thought that they have to go through the bank. You do not have to go through the bank. There's a lot of options out there now. If that is your thought and you get a pre-qualification letter and you've been approved for, let's say, 4.7 and you're with us, let's say at 5%, we are going to work with you to make sure we get you there, because our goal as a company is to help you achieve homeownership, and our goal as a company is to make sure that you are a happy customer that is going to send us 10 more.
Very good. Thank you.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right. right, it looks like we have credit plus.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing? A pleasure to have you here. Thanks for being here and learning and educating yourself. A pleasure to be here. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking your time to teach us a little bit more about owning a property. My question is a little bit more info on renting to own with bad credit. Should I work on getting my credit fixed first and then thinking about renting to own?
No, sir.
Or
So
start the
our
process of
program,
renting to-
if I can just stop you there for a second. So we figured out a long time ago how people work and how the banks work. So we reverse engineer all of that. How can we help so many people? Is because we do things backwards. How we do things backwards? We start you with no credit, low credit, any credit. I don't care if you have bad credit or you don't have no credit. You don't recognize the word credit. If you have, number one, your commitment to achieve homeownership, that should be your first priority. Your commitment, I want to make it happen. I don't want to be like mama. I don't want to be like my neighbor. I want to be the first in my family. We have a lot of stories. I want to be the first in my family to achieve homeownership. Once you achieve that, I tell you, I can guarantee you that a lot more people in your family is going to look at you and they're going to want to have a house as well, because a lot of people look at you as a provider, as a leader, and they respect you and love you for what you do. Now, that being said, you do not have to have any credit. You can come with us, but we start with you at any level, and you can fix your credit while you live in a property, while you stay there. Now, if at any point you go to from wherever you are to the 10% of the property value, it's really up to you, your choice to fix your credit. My only suggestion is that if you have bad credit, you're probably paying roughly $1,500 for car insurance. You're paying a lot more for dental. You're paying all of this money for crazy fees that they're just taking advantage of you. And if you have a good credit, all of those fees are going to be gone. That is only my experience. Credit is a very important thing. I myself, coming from a different country, did not care about credit until I went to the bank and trying to get a house, and they said, well, you have to have credit. And I said, hold on, but I got 100,000. I don't care. You have to have credit. So that being said, yes, credit is a very important foundation of your life in America. Fortunately or unfortunately, that is how the system works, and this how do you have to handle it. If you go to China, you need to speak Chinese. If you go to Honduras, you better speak Spanish, because people are going to be lost and you're going to be lost as well. So that is only my suggestion. Will be a great idea to have a better credit.
Thank you, sir.
Any follow-up question after that to make sure I clarify your rent to own?
Mr. Norman, I just want to collaborate with what you just said. What I like about what you guys provide is an opportunity to give people a chance to own, right? Of course, while they're getting educated. MWR is an educational platform. It allows us to educate people in all areas when it comes to their finances. So, rent to own has been like a blessing to a lot of folks that haven't had the chance to own a property because of papers or because of credit. But that lending hand we give out, we have to educate eventually our prospects or potential customers in the entire process of what you just have said. Because at the end of the day, anybody that has good credit, they have open doors anywhere they go. Any choices they want to make, they can leverage on that credit, because sometimes money is not enough. You got to have that extra financing leverage to be able to grab a hold of and move to bigger transactions.
It's called leverage. It's a handle up. It's kind of like going through the stairs and getting yourself with good credit into the elevator. You're going to get there a lot sooner. Now, there's something that I want to mention as well. Once you join the path to homeownership, there's a lot of goodies that you get access to. We have programs over there to teach you how to become mortgageable. You guys have to go and exploit that platform. Once you receive that confirmation, there's a lot of training, awesome training. Also, you're going to get a link every first and Tuesday of the month. We have trainings, so you can jump in there. Any questions, any concerns, any family member. Sometimes we get people that they do not qualify, but they want to bring somebody else in and they do not know how to explain it. I'm like, Just sip it, don't say anything, just bring them into the training and have them see it for themselves and ask the questions themselves, because you most likely are not going to transfer the information the same.
All right. Thank you so much, Nolven. We're going to move on with more questions. We only
Sure.
got 10 minutes left. I think Victor was next, if I'm not mistaken, and we do have some questions also on the chat. We'll get those questions answered shortly. So,
Awesome.
or if you want to raise your hand, you can be the next person after. I think Emma was the last one that rose her hand. So, Victor.
Yes. Hey, Nolvin. When I saw your last name, I thought you were talking from Madrid.
Well, my parents are somewhere in that relation. Malaga is Spain, so but I was born and raised in Honduras until I was 14, and then I jumped over here. You know, I didn't know how to swim, so I had to
Yeah.
kind of like jump over the river. Go ahead.
Yeah, I came late, like 15 minutes late to the Zoom. So I have 3 questions and 1 comment.
Absolutely.
The first comment is that you are.
I'm going to take note of your comment because I love comment feedback. Guys, if you guys got anybody that is, at any time is giving you a comment or feedback, write it down, because that is the best gift that somebody can give you. Feedback that will teach you a lot about yourself, a lot of how you're doing things. If you're doing it wrong or if you're messing it up, always write it down. Go ahead, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I can see that you are doing a really awesome job explaining everything, and you are covering a lot of things. So I came to the conclusion that I'm not going to be asking all those teeny tiny questions all over, because what I learned tonight is that I'm going to bring the people to you, and we're going to find a way.
Absolutely. That is my saying. We're going to find a way. If I'm sitting with a seller or a buyer, let's figure a way out together.
Yeah. So if the people are willing, ready and willing, I'm going to bring it over, and you guys going to find a way to get there in the house.
We are going to do this
Yeah.
together. I'm not going to do it. We are going to do it together. This is a teamwork.
Okay, great. Thank you. The other question that I have is, how can I get the recording? Because I was late. I couldn't join on time. So I don't know, whoever is in charge, I would like to know how can I get access to a recording. The second question is there any way I can get a flyer with the basics of what you're saying so I can attract people to? Okay, great.
So this is in Spanish. I have English version. I have for buyers, for sellers. We can we have all of the marketing covered up. We can talk about that later on. I always like to say, if you're going to use marketing and you're going to promote this in social media, I want you to be completely honest. I want you to be completely transparent. I don't want you to be saying, hey, are you on Social Security? You're qualified. You have $100 in your bank account. You're qualified. Anybody is approved. It's a process and there's requirements. Want to make sure we have that clear. There's a lot of scams out there. We don't want to be tagged as a scam. We are originals. We have been doing this for so many years. We help so many people, and we have testimonials that prove it. We have properties, and we're actually working on updating a lot of our testimonials. So let's make sure we get that clear. We can help a lot of people. We cannot help everyone.
Okay, great. So I would like to know how can I get access to the flyer?
We'll get in touch later on through Fernando or whoever we get something worked out. And there is also Canva. I can send you a picture, and Canva is so accessible that you can actually just do your own flyer, modify it to your own needs and your people, because you probably know your people better than me.
Mr. Robert, we're gonna add you to our tools and resources, so you can just put the information there, the flyers, the templates, and we'll get them out to the to the teams. Victor, what's your last name?
Okay. Morua.
Are you in our Telegram group or no?
I tried to join your Facebook group, but I don't know. I haven't been accepted. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I just want to make sure, because sometimes we get people that come in there with fake information, so we always kind of look things up. So Victor Norua, right?
What, Victor Morua? I'm working with Coach Trevor.
Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna look you up, and then we're definitely gonna accept you.
Okay, great. And the other question that I have, Nolvin, is if I bring people who speak Spanish who are not fluently in English, is there help for them?
So right now, I'm working on training. We're working on getting somebody else on the team. He's already certified. We're just working right on it. But right now, I'm at service to anyone throughout the U.S. This is why I'm doing Zoom sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning with my California people. I want to make sure I'm there at service. This is one thing that I can say honestly, truly, and transparent. I love what I do, and I love real estate. And one of my mentors say, hey, you have to figure out what you can be doing on Saturday morning, talk about a Saturday morning and the rest of the day. So this is my thing. This is what I do. This is what I love. I ain't going anywhere. I'm here to help.
Mr. Noven, I'm going to add you to our weekly agenda so that way people can come. We'll talk about that, and we'll put an hour so you can kind of give us coaching and mentorship in being that a part of our training platform, because we do have events every single day, but we're going to look for a good time to be able to include you. So that way, see, we wanna ease it up for you, Noven, where you don't have to have, you don't do like one-on-ones. We get like 10, 15, 20, 30 people there all at once and get them all educated, record your materials so it can be exposed publicly when they can just go back to the videos and, just.
Absolutely. If you make a part of the training library, that will be awesome. So not everybody's going to be able to make it at the same time. If they are willing to learn, the material is going to be there. Not everybody's going to do it. A lot of people are going to raise their hand, but not everybody's going to do it. Again, if you have the training, let's make sure we help them out.
So when I program the consultation for my customers on MWR, can they request to be the consultation in Spanish?
You're saying the consultation with me through affordable housing?
Yeah, because
MWR has the platform to put the information in from our clients. So I guess, Victor, is that what you're saying?
yes, exactly.
Okay, Victor, let me get back to that question. So as you're filling out this questionnaire, and by the way, that's a great comment. Let me say something real quick. Do not be asking people, hey, you have to have 3.7 of the down payment, because a lot of people, they don't trust you. They just got there with you. They have not been able to trust you enough sometimes. That's what I have found. So get them. Let's figure out how, just let them know it's going to be an investment needed. It's going to be a minimum investment needed, so they at least know that there is an investment. I don't want people saying, hey, I only have 100, I only have 200, I don't have nothing. Like a guy from Texas called me today. He makes $3,500 a month. He's trying to get a house in San Antonio, and he ain't got no down payment. And somebody through Facebook told him, when they did the consultation, oh, you don't have down payment, don't worry, they're going to place you in a house, right? And you're going to be renting to own. So he did not renew his lease, and now he's living in a hotel. I don't want you to be that kind of people. This is why we're providing this training. I want you to grow your business, and I want you to do it long term. I want you to be sustainable. I don't want you to come and be, one of those vital buyers that come over here, stay overnight, and then disappear, and you don't even remember that. I want you to have a sustainable, long-term, predictable income coming in, because you have been doing your things right now. When you're filling out a questionnaire, there's going to be, if you go down to the bottom, there's going to be a special section that says comments, requirement, special comments. On that special comment, you're going to put, I need to talk to someone that speaks Spanish. I want to talk to Noven. I don't care what you put there. Just make sure you specify that you need someone that speaks Spanish, so that can be transferred to, and then we don't have to send you to somebody else in your community that won't be able to understand. And I want to make sure that language is not a barrier. I want to make sure that you get full transparency and that you're understanding every single thing that we're doing throughout the process.
Excellent. Thank you, Novin. Let's move on, because time is running, and let's go with Cindy, and then Emma are the last one. Cindy, go ahead, open your microphone.
I know, it's Cindy Lucard, EXP. I'm down in Southwest Florida, but I'll be in the Panhandle soon. I know how to find you. Can I call you during the week and kind of brainstorm with you as well? I am familiar with where CAP came from and all that along the way, and then how they married up with MWR. I'm MWR. I am not CAP, but I am a licensed agent.
That is awesome. Mastermind is one of my favorite things. So I myself am part of a lot of mastermind just to be able to, stay myself top of the art and be able to help a lot more people, whether that is through self development or that is business wise. I love to get in touch with you and let's make some things happen.
Okay, I will email you and you can put yourself on my calendar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go with Emma. Last question because it is 9 p.m. Emma.
Hola, hola, mi gente. Huepa, huepa.
Huepa.
Norman,
Vamos para allá. Huepa, dale.
Huepa, claro. Hello, dejen el show que esto viene candela.
Vamos a meterle con las dos manos, dale.
Mira, mi nombre es Emma. Yo soy un licensed realtor también, ¿ok? Trabajo muy de cerca con inversionistas y mis preguntas son las siguientes, ¿ok? For one, what is the employment requirement for a client who wants to do the rent to own? Is there a requirement for employment?
So it has to be verifiable. It has to be predictable, verifiable income. So we cannot place you in a house if we cannot verify the source of income. Now, if you're a 1099, if you're W9 or whatever source you're getting paid through, we're just going to require that you show that through your bank account to make sure, because we understand we have a lot of business owners and a lot of people 1099 are attracted to our business model so much because banks doesn't like them so much. I haven't figured out why, but they don't like them so much.
I agree.
So we love them. And those are one of our best clients. So we always tell them, hey, we love business owners. If you're a business owner, congratulate you. I cannot give you any legal advice, but most likely our team is going to ask you if you have an LLC. If you have an LLC, there's some tax benefits that come with that once you're getting into a house. And that I cannot discuss with you, but I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. There's a lot of things that you can do through an LLC and get a lot of benefits. Now, go ahead to your second part.
Absolutely. So my last question. So there is no 2-year employment history that we would have to provide.
No, this is what I was mentioning earlier. If you have anyone that you have worked with in the past, and I was just saying that based on my experience. People think, and they're living that box thinking that it has to be that 2-year. It does not have to be that 2-year. We will work with them, figure out how to make it happen if they are committed, if they have the down payment and they can make those mortgage payments. If they can afford it, we'll figure out how to make it happen. That is our commitment. So yeah, I mean, get back to all of this is what I was saying earlier, and go back to all of the people that you could not help in the past. Just get in touch with them. Hey, Emma, I was just thinking about you.
Awesome. Okay, so question number 2. Being a licensed realtor, right? I'm very interested in knowing, let's say I already have a property that I'm listing.
I'm sure you do.
I have a property listed, right? However, I also have a buyer who is interested in doing the rent to own. Me personally, I already have an agreement with the seller, right, to pay for me listing the property. Now, as a realtor, do we get to keep that 3%, and do we get to keep whatever you guys offer for bringing in the clients?
So in this, let's use an example. So we have Margarita from Lakeland, Florida, right? So Margarita just got a property under contract. So she calls me up and say, hey, I got a property under contract. I said, where is it? I got a lot of people looking in Winter Haven. Myself, I was looking at about 62 properties in Winter Haven today. I have a client that most likely is going to fit that need and is looking for that house probably in that area and fits that criteria. So I said, let's do numbers. Do you overprice or you priced it right? She's got it priced right, $225. I said, all right, let me run some numbers. Let me check it out. Okay, so we got those numbers. Those make sense. I'm, probably, 217. I'm not off, but I'm somewhat off. So let's sit down. Let's make this connection with the seller. And if he agrees to my offer, she gets full commission. She gets both sides. She didn't have to go nowhere else except to get the phone out of her pocket or purse and make the phone call. If he likes the offer, she's going to make both sides of the commission. And we already have a client for that property through NWR. So go ahead and follow up.
Bomba!
Wepa. I love that.
I had to get that. I had to get that clarified because we do have a couple listings and we do have a couple clients. So I want to make sure that we are 100% clear on that particular.
Now I want to mention something. How many? We have a lot of real estate agents here. Now, if we do pay attention to this here, don't take this as I'm saying something illegal, unethical, or something that is not right. We have a lot of clients, your clients, that their house is only worth $200,000, and they might not be able to sell it for $200,000. The market probably is not there. If the seller is willing to work with us, I most likely have a solution for them. And what I'm saying is that we've been able to do a lot and help a lot of people, a lot of sellers, that they cannot sell their property because they will have to come out of pocket. Most of the time, I'm able to create a solution. What I mean, I do a lot of creating financing. Sometimes people are over leveraged. Sometimes people bought a property and got equity out of it. Now they're trying to sell it. They have to come out of pocket. We have solutions. We are solution based. If the seller is willing to work, we are willing to do our part and make sure that it works for them and it works for our client.
Beautiful. Emma, thank you. You have.
Wait. I have one more question. Just
Okay.
one more, and I'm done. Now, let's say that I have a client. Okay, I have a client who wants to do the rent to own, correct?
All right.
But I don't have a property, and the client's like, I don't know, like. Can you find it? How does that work? Are we supposed to find the property and negotiate with the seller and then bring the buyer on to you guys through MWR, or how is that process?
Emma, I'm gonna save you some time. You're out of the picture. We are going to deal directly with that seller. Why? Because it's in the seller's agent best interest to work with us to collect both sides of the commission. Your side of the commission is going to be, if he's bringing money to the table, 20% up to a full commission. So what I have found out is that a lot of agents are going to dig and ask a lot of questions. How much more do you have to put down? If you ask the right questions, you're going to find out that they do have a lot more. They just don't want to give it all at once. Did that answer your question?
But that's what I guess that's where my question comes in. So we need to find the property.
No. At that point, you have to forget about finding them a property. We are going to work directly with them. We're going to give them directions on finding these properties. They're going to work in their area where the budget is to find a property, maybe a property high grass or property that needs a little work, distressed, for sale by owner, or even listed properties. And we're going to go on their behalf, contact these people. And if they want to sell, they raise their hand. They say, I want to sell. We're going to put an offer down. Once we get it under contract, your seller, your buyer is going to come take a look at it and say, yes, I want it. We pull the trigger. I mean, talking about killing here. We're going to purchase the property and on their behalf, and then they have the house. We do this just because this is the way that we have found out that people achieve and are more committed. Once we guide them a house and we fix it up and put them in the house, they sometimes don't like it and sometimes they move. But if you look for the house yourself and you like the house, you have an internal commitment with yourself, and most likely you're going to keep the house.
I love it. In other words, we don't have to be driving around.
Not no more. What do your broker told you? Hey, don't do anything until they get a pre-approval.
I love it. Just get a client and make sure that they got more down payment than the one that they say they have.
They most of the time they do.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so let's take 2 more questions. Fernando, what do you think? 2 more questions, right? And then
we still got 32 participants here, so it looks like everybody wants to, at the end of the day, guys,
I don't mind going as far as your calendar stays within. I do have another meeting at 10, so we can go as far as we have time. We can go to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go for the last 3, I think, Anna.
Yeah, the last 3 because
4. Not 3.
Okay, because we got another meeting with
4.
us in 7 o'clock. so we know he needs to, take a break for his voice. So we have Maria Correa, and we have Okay, let's have Maria first, and then the other people. Maria.
Hello, hi, Novi, it's me again.
Sounds familiar.
Just talking about the point that Emma was talking right now. So if I am not participating in looking or searching the property for the client,
that doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't mean that you can't. Is that most of the time what we have found, if you are the selling agent, you're going to be more likely to work with us if you're getting both sides. I'm sure you will understand that. That doesn't mean that you can't. Let's get that clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was my point, because if it's my client and I could collect the commission on the seller's side, on the buyer's side, then if I left my clients to do that by themselves, first, they are going to feel that they are working by themselves, that they are not my client anymore. And second, I'm not going to be able to collect the buyer's commission. The listing is going to work with the commission itself. So can
sometimes,
you elaborate a little bit more, please?
Yes. So sometimes, I'm gonna use this example here, and I'm not saying it's going to be everybody. So sometimes we have found out that there's clients that come through an agent, they cannot qualify, they come to us and they have $2,000 down. Once we get them into the house, we're like, hey, I'd love to help you. How can we make this thing happen? You are there, your income is there, but your down payment is not there. Who in your network, who around you can help you, put more of a down payment? And then we start digging. We ask questions. When you ask questions, you get answers, right? And when you ask more questions, sometimes you find money. And this is what we found out, that most of the time they do have someone, but my Latino people wants to just pay enough to get into the house and keep the rest in the bank. Hopefully it's not CSB and they're shutting down. But so yeah, you have to become kind of like a detective, kind of like Sherlock Holmes, and kind of like this Wolf of Wall Street. Hey, let me sell you the Spanish stuff. You have to ask questions and you will get answered. Now, that does not mean that you cannot play a role. It's just that sometimes, just based on our experience, this is why I'm saying based on experience, sometimes the other seller, I'm sure they like to get both sides and they see it more attractive, and most likely, even though they're by law obligated to place an offer once we put it down. Did I clarify that? That is not a no, it's just that sometimes it's preferred to just do it straight to them, but I totally get it. Like, let's say, for example, if you're in Colorado or if you're in Tampa, Florida, and one of those houses is going to be $450,000, and they only bring in, well, if they bring in 10% down, you're still making your side of commission without having to do anything. Now, if they don't have enough and they can only get to rent to own, we need to work something else. We want to make sure that you as the bridge, you as the ladder bringing us that client, get taken care of. We want to make sure that you get paid, because it means you're bringing that client. That client will not be with us without your connection. I want to make sure that clear. We want to take care of you. We will do whatever we have to do to make sure we take care of you. I think she went away. Okay.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Here. I'm listening to you. Yes,
Okay.
I understand. So in that case, the referral money that we're gonna receive is only the money that came from the down payment that rent to own person is putting down, right?
20% up to a full commission, because sometimes we find out that they have hefty down payments. Not everybody. Now, if you have a client, so I'm gonna use this example. I love to use examples and stories. So we have a client in Tampa, right? And she knows that her friend, colleague, as an agent having this property, but we don't know about this property. It's not on the market yet. So she made her own arrangement with this other agent. Hey, if I bring someone that is a solid buyer and he can buy this property, I know you have not put it on the market yet, because whatever they have the agreement, we have a lot of people like that. We can if they can arrange it, that's really up to them. We still make our presentation, our offer. We have to be present, and this is what we require. If the agent wants to be there, he can be there. We will have to be making this offer in person, because we love to have that personal connection with whoever we're dealing. We are a people's business, and we love to be there present to make sure that we answer any questions. Sometimes if I tell you something, even though you could be so smart or whatever, you might not get that right there, and they might have more answers. This is why we love to be in person in every offer that we're making, or through Zoom, just to be there, that we are there to answer any questions. Now, I don't know if you do novations. We deal with people doing novations as well. So for those of you that doesn't know what novation is, it's just a property that's worth 100,000, or the seller wants 100, and then the agent comes or whoever comes and say, hey, Mr. Seller, if I get this property under contract and you want 100, would you mind if I sell it for more than that? And he said, no, I want to get 100. Whatever you sell after that is your commission. If you sell it for 100, you don't make no commission. So they put it up on the market and they sell it for more. They made a differential that is novation. So we deal with people like that too. It's just, I like to be straight honest with you. The property has to be a market value for us as a company to be able to buy it, or less.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely,
Okay, so
absolutely. If you need more clarification on that, we can get in touch later on. Go ahead.
Actually, Norvin, I think Maria and all the realtors, like, we just want to know, how much we're gonna be making here. So, we like to help people, but we run the business, right?
Yeah.
So to leave this clear, commission, 20% of everything below 10% of the value, right? If it's more than 10%, then full commission.
So 20% of the money that they bring to the table, up to a full 3% commission.
Perfect. Okay.
So sometimes, hey guys, sometimes you're going to find someone in a market that you're not going to be able to help them. So this property in Tallahassee, you're not going to be from we do have some go-getters here that will go and make that trip, myself included, but we have some people that might not be able to do that. We have people that they know someone in Alabama. In some states, you have that referral fee. However, you're not going to collect much through that referral fee through an agent. Now, if they come to us and we be able to get them a house, I think there's always a win-win there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nobi. Okay, so let's go to the last question, and I think it's with Mayers. I don't know.
How are you?
Open your microphone.
With Mayor.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, it is open.
Go ahead.
My question is, so to be qualified, like, let's say if I have a client, you have to be an agent to have a commission?
There's some rules, right? Let's say, per se, if the government is not getting their bite, most likely they don't want you to get the bite. So, and I'm sorry I talk about government politics, I shouldn't be doing that. So if you're an agent, you're going to get 20% up to a full 3% commission. If you're not an agent, by law, I'm not able to do that. There's other things that I'm able to do, and that has to be discussed off records. And that will be kind of like an agreement between you and us, or you and I, or you and whoever, but we cannot pay you or call it a commission legally, other than that we're going to be held free.
All right.
So for example, we deal a lot with wholesalers. So wholesaler, hey, like I tell wholesalers, so if you're a wholesaler, if anybody's wholesaling here and you placed an offer on a property and they say, hell no, you need to get out of my house, I'm not taking your low offer, you need to call me. Most likely I have more options for that client. I go sit down with him, and I have ways to pay him more. Like I say, I love to be creative. If that's what the seller wants, and I get terms, and I can put one of my MWR clients in there, I'm more than happy to do that. And still, you still get paid for that lead, even though that was a dead lead for a lot of people.
Okay, I understand that part. So if I find a house, it's distressed house, and then it's a good price, I can call you, and then you look at it, and then you pay for it, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we look at it, and then we run our numbers, put it on the contract, make sure everything is what it says is being, because sometimes they don't tell you everything that is wrong until you go to the doctor and you find out that they have cancer. So once we purchase that property, you are going to get paid. Now, like I say, if you're not a realtor, because this is being recorded, I need to reiterate that.
I understand.
Gotcha.
I understand that part. So, all right. So I always have find those houses. People have this house. So when I find something like that, and I do have people who do construction also, so I can look at them with them, and then if that, and then I will call you, and you do the price, right?
There's always a house in your neighborhood that is not the greatest house, and there's always someone going through financial hardships, or there is someone getting divorced, or there is a probate, somebody that lost a family member. There is always something, and every situation changes every day, like the market does. A house's price on one zip code is completely different. Sometimes they're completely different from one street to the other, a community to community. So everything is I call it a microeconomy. So everything changes from street to street, and you're going to have that information most than likely in your surroundings. These houses, and that they're just sitting there. Just give me a call.
And then, all right, so I don't have your number for that, Paul. So just, okay.
Fernando will get you that. You get in touch with Fernando. I cannot discuss it online.
Guys, I want you guys, excuse me, I want you guys to keep this. Remember, we are MWR agents. And we get this amazing membership through MWR. So make sure that you guys fill out the application first, because we don't want to keep you. Exactly. Fill the application. Let's do everything the right way.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be, like distracting Novin or another cab.
We want to make sure everything is trackable. We want to make sure everybody's getting paid. If you guys, I always said in my meetings, if you're coming through somebody here, somebody refer you, make sure you go back to that person, because that person did the work. It's only fair for that person to get paid if that's what they're doing, or whatever you guys agree. Always make sure that you'll be clear. Anybody that helped you, you need to help them back. That is at least the minimum that you can do. That is just how I handle my business. If anybody comes to me, I will make sure I get them paid, and this is how we do business here.
Yeah, the person who referred me put me on it. That's why I'm listening to the video tonight.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Because they don't have that. They don't have that answer when I ask that question. They cannot answer the question. So I guess you answer all my question. So I need to know.
My pleasure.
And another thing, guys, is we don't want, we want you guys to be proper qualified first.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you guys are going to be handling to the right agent once you get properly qualified. And let's get the last, I think we're done. Victor, we're going to give you one more question.
Shut it up.
No,
and then that's
I can get in touch with you. When I find a properties, how can I get in touch with you?
That will have to go through Fernando or Anna. I cannot just give my number, because I have been doing that in a couple of meetings, and I've been bombarded with people around the country, wholesalers, and people looking at me, and people telling me, hey, I got 26 properties in Kansas City. I got 46 properties in Mojave Desert, California. And even though I deal and I love to deal with wholesalers, I want to make sure, I provide my NWR clients the service that they need, and make sure my number is not going out there, because
I understand. Or what about the email, everything? So
yes, get with Fernando or Anna, and they will be able to provide that info.
Or Jero, I don't know who's your upline. You can just contact your upline, the person that sent you this invitation.
Yes.
Then just make sure that you follow the,
Yeah.
They don't have that. They cannot answer my question.
Who's your upline?
Marvin.
Who got you here? Okay, you got it. Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Somebody got you already. Okay, beautiful. So let's answer Victor one last question, and then we say an early goodbye for tonight.
Remember,
Awesome.
we have also in the chat some questions.
Yes, we'll take care of those as well. Make sure nothing is left behind. Go ahead.
I think that's it. Can we buy a house to rent out? Okay, that's another question. Can we buy a house to rent out?
if you qualify, if you stay within the qualification, we have people that there is not a requirement that says that you have to live in the house. We have people from Virginia, out of the state, they buy in a house as far as they meet that criteria, and they can show us all of their whatever we require. Yes, I mean there is not a thing or restrictions or clause that says you have to live on it. You do not have to be a homeowner. This is not the government. This is private money.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I think that's it.
No, there's Michelle Colley says, at a platinum status, does the credit score, or do you have to go outside a lender? And then it continues with, the client was directed to an outside lender. They have enough cash for the 10% up to $250,000, $300,000.
Okay, so let's make sure we get that clear. So she's got a client that has enough down payment, meaning 10%, to get up to a $250,000 house. Yes, so that at that moment he's going to get seller finance regardless of what state or city he's in. He's going to be able to get seller finance as far as we be able to get him a house or at that price. Some places, some cities, we are not able to find anything for that price. Like I say, everything depends on where he's at. And then whoever is he an agent, whoever has the buyer?
Michelle, you can open your microphone.
If he's an agent, he knows that he's going to make sure that he puts that in the application. I'm an agent and this buyer.
I'm here.
Is Michelle?
No, my buyer is not an agent.
No, are you an agent?
Was contacted. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not an agent in this part. My buyer was contacted by a representative with a counselor, and they went over the income, the credit score that was from MWR,
correct,
and the amount of monies that my buyer has, and their income. They bring home about $3,700 a month, right?
Okay.
But that representative sent them directly to an outside lender.
The outside
lender is telling them that in order for you to get into the program, you have to go through that lender.
No, ma'am. That should not be correct. If he's coming with 10% down, he's coming straight with us. So you need to get that information, pass it over to Anna or Fernando, and they will have to get in touch with me or Lou. That is not correct. They do not have to go through a third-party lender. We are the lenders. We are purchasing the house on your behalf. It's our money. It's our investment. We're buying it for you.
But what has happened at that point with this person, the credit was hit. That the outside lender ran a credit report and came back with, your credit is 20% lower than what MWR's credit report was submitted.
What state is this in?
In Maryland.
Okay, get in touch with Anna. I'm pretty sure I know who's working. I'm familiar with all of the people working throughout the states. We're part of masterminds and we work together. I just want to make sure everything is clear. Get in touch with Anna, pass that information over. I will reach out to them and I will reach out to Lou as well, just to make sure that we're handling everything properly. Unless that was a request made by the buyer, that should not be the case.
The buyer didn't make the request. Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, we're gonna get in touch with you and Fernando to take care of your client.
Okay.
Tell your client to don't worry about credit. So he lost 20 points. That's not an issue with us. And this program, they're not gonna look at that. Yeah. So, okay.
Well, we have clients dying for 3 points. So.
All right. Thank you.
So don't worry about
Thank you.
Okay, so Fernando, I think it's almost 9:30, and I don't want to abuse of Melvin because he has another Zoom.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, Melvin, thank you so much, man. You drink a lot of coffee, don't you?
I want to make sure I'm at service, and I want to make sure I'm providing. I just through MWR, somebody came up to me that have lost a lot of money in different investment, and he's like, "Can we just do something here in Cali?" So I'm trying to see if I can get him to work with Latino community, go to MWR, and grow his own business over there. So I just want to make sure, if I'm able to provide service, if I'm able to provide something that I have learned in the past, why to keep it?
Dame un segundo, espérate. Ya va, no te vayas.
Se habla español.
I guess Victor has another question.
This is Victor, yeah. Hold on a second. I have a quick question. Don't go away, Aguera.
I'm not.
The
I'm
question
here.
is, okay, what about new constructions? If I find a lot to build my house, can I do that?
So that is a different animal. That's totally tricky because land is a different thing. You know, land sometimes is up on value and sometimes it drops on value. So that some cops might be able to do that. Not all of us. Like me personally, I will not take a hit on a land. Like I have a client right now bought a property for $140,000 in Tampa, Florida, trying to build, and now he's not just there, and so it's just not my thing. It really depends on the cop that you're working with. I personally not going to put my money into a land, even though you could be fully qualified. A lot of things can happen throughout the road, and I like to put my money and my clients' money into a safe, predictable income money maker that I can see, feel, touch, and I know that it's there, and I know that if something happens, insurance is going to be there to take care of me and my lenders.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, those communities where they build houses for, the
So
people around.
you're talking about pre-bills. So pre-bills, most likely you can get in touch with them, and they have a lot of programs. So when it's pre-bill, they build in a lot of times on speculation, so they most likely be able to get you a better rate and a better loan. It's just because they have these incentives to be able to sell you the house. We just do it if you have a really hefty payment, because all of these communities that just new bills is sometimes the market is just not there and they're very uncertain. We have communities that, if you remember the crash in 2008, there were pipes sticking out of the ground, full communities that they were just left undone. And we want to make sure we take care of you. You're going to be with us for a full commitment. We do not want to see you locked into a property, and probably sometimes it's just the only property in the block. Now, if you have a lot more to put down, that will be something to consider, knowing that you really in the hook. Did I clarify that, Victor? I think you're muted.
No, that's all. Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. All right, anything on the chat box that we need to go through?
Yes, one more.
All right, let's go.
Samsung again. Samsung says, sorry, at my prior question, when someone purchases the home, is the title held in the buyer's name? And who do they pay for amortization purposes?
Claro que sí. Y esa es una de las razones por las cuales
Okay, Victor, you're not unmuted. Can you get Samsung 46 or 36 unmuted, so that way he can ask me that question, because I need to make sure I'm going to go over it, but I want to make sure I get him completely clarified.
Yes, I see it here. Yeah, can you unmute yourself?
Samsung.
Samsung.
I'm an iPhone guy, but I like you anyways.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem. Thank you. Is that Samsung single family home? Is that?
No, it's Brian Schroeder here in Salem, Oregon.
Go ahead.
So the question I had was for amortization purposes. So like when somebody buys the home, who are they going to be paying for the amortization schedule, as far as to show what's for interest and taxes? And then for the year-end statement, when they get that at the end of the year, like a lender sends out a 1098. So I was just trying to find out, then, do they get that at the end of the year?
That is an awesome question, Samsung. I don't even know why you're not putting your name up, or unless your name is Samsung, you're a great brand. Let me tell you something. We work just like any other lender out there is going to work. You do get your schedule fees, you do get your amortization table, you get absolutely everything. Everything is going to be there. Now, if you come up later on and say, hey, I want to add this $20,000 to my principal, we have to do a new table of amortization, because that changes. We absolutely work just like the bank. The only difference is that we're not government fund, we're private fund.
Okay, so as far as the title then, so like if somebody buys a house just for seasoning requirements for if they wanted to refinance that with a regular lender, is that going to be in their name, or is it going to be in your name as far as the company, or how does that get held?
Okay, so that is going to be held in trust. If you die, there is going to be a specific things there saying who is going to take the house after you die. I'm not saying you will. Hopefully you're not nothing soon. But this is why, for protection to you and for our protection, we put all of our properties in trust. If something were to happen to us, we want to make sure that the trust and the people in charge is going to be able to keep it up, just like the bank. So the banks goes out of business, somebody else takes place, but you are still paying through the bank. So we want to make sure now, if you want to refinance later on, that's something definitely you'll be able to do. There's no clause that says that you cannot refinance or you cannot sell the house. It's your house. We have a contract, and most likely you'll be able to show that contract and say, hey, I want to refinance, and you can do that. There's a lot of people does as well. There's no contingency that you can't refinance.
Okay, so as far as proof of ownership, then it will show that the buyer is in the trust.
Yes.
So that they'll have that season requirement.
Yes, absolutely. So let me ask you something. If you go to the dealership and you start making payments on a car, do you get title to it?
No.
Exactly. So this is how we do it. So we do it to make sure that you get title when you make your last payment. However, you do have your contract, and in that contract states your ownership. And that contract states what role you're playing in the transaction. And that is just the way that we've been doing business, just to avoid problems on your end and inconvenience on our end. This is just the way that we have found out to be able to make sure that, let's say, for example, you wreck somebody and you're driving and somebody just falls in front of your car and they do a suit against you. If that property is in your name, they're going to put a lien against that property. So our money as a lender is going to be a risk, and we want to make sure that we protect you and protect ourselves as well.
So then one last question in regards to that. So like if I bought a house with my brother, as an example, and we're in this trust, and my brother no longer wants to be in the house any longer, how do you...
Nothing different than having two ownerships in a property. You can quick claim deed your ownership of that property to anybody. So let's say, for example, you and I are in this pen together and I don't want to be part of this. I quick claim my interest on this pen to you. Now you have 100% ownership on that thing.
Do we have to re-qualify for the individual then, or to say that they still qualify because it was in both people's names before, now it's just in one name?
So it depends. So let's say if you're most likely at that time you're going to be seller finance, at that time I don't think you need to requalify, as far as you're still being able to pay your monthly. So what we have seen, the biggest obstacle for a lot of people, what we have found sometimes is just that down payment. They're able to do their monthly payments. We have people calling me from Fort Lauderdale, they paying $3,800 in rent. We got people in Miami paying $5,800 in rent. So the monthly is not a problem. Sometimes what we see that the problem, the issue, the inconvenience, the situation, whatever you want to call it, is that part of the down payment. Once you get that car going, you're not going to stop it. I can assure you there is a million ways that you can get. You can do Airbnb a room. You can rent a room to somebody else. You can do an efficiency. You can have a separate room. You can rent the sunroom. You can do a lot of different things. You can have a yard sale on the weekends. You'll be able to keep up that payment most of the time, unless you're not willing to. You can get yourself a part-time. You can go and do a car wash. You can do a lot of different things. If you're willing to do it, you'll be able to find a way.
And then as far as the year-end part of it is concerned, do you guys do like that updated escrow analysis? Because with escrow going up, like with property taxes and homeowners insurance and everything.
So the only two variables that I always tell people, we cannot control two variables. It's like we cannot control the government. He's trying to control us, but we can't control that. Listen, taxes, we cannot control taxes. So this is why I tell people, know that this neighborhood, the taxes might be $1,100, the taxes might be $2,800 in a different neighborhood. Another thing that we cannot control is property insurance. Let's say, for example, after the hurricane, FEMA ran out of money. Now they just expanded their search. Now insurance is going to be required in some other houses that were not required before. That variable we cannot control. Does that answer your question?
Is that included in the trust then for the payments, or is
so you're going to get, just like the bank, we are the bank for you. So you're going to get your PITI. I mean, you're still getting, making your monthly interest, taxes, and insurance. All of that is going to be there.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much for your help.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Next question, please.
That would be, we don't want to abuse you, so thank you
No,
so
no,
much.
if there's any questions in the chat, Mark, let's go ahead and get it done. I think we still got a little time before my other one.
I think that was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last one, and thank you so much. You were really, really nice and professional, answering everything. Like, I'm super happy with what we have with you. Thank you so much, because I know, like, Eric also is involved with you, and you guys are so busy trying to help everybody with the questions, and like with all these program, this new program that we have right now.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and I know definitely we're gonna have you again.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So
this is my puzzle, and I love it. So.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Novin. Thank you so much, Anna. Don't forget, the process of MWR, the membership, it's taxes, bill reduction, debt elimination, credit score improvements. That's basically, the entire a la carte services that we have. Not an a la carte. It's a membership that has all the services that it's included with the rent to own.
Fernando,
benefits.
that is an
Yes,
awesome point that you touched there, and I want to reiterate on that. What I have found with some of the people here, they're promoting more the credit restoration. Hey guys, you guys are missing the boat. A lot of people are paying $300, $400, $500 just to have their taxes done. You guys have all of these benefits through MWR. You need to promote this. If you don't promote it, people are getting lost. People are just thinking. I have a lot of people that say, oh, I didn't even know you guys do that. I said, we don't do it. MWR does. Oh, I only came here to the rent to own. I said, yeah, but what about that? What about all those services? Take advantage of that. Do not miss it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Melvin. Thank you so much for reconfirming that we are an MWR family. And we have all these services where we can actually help people save money, make money, and become homeowners. Thank you so
money
much.
while you're making money, baby.
That's right.
All right,
everyone. Good night. Take care. Thanks again.
My
Melvin.
pleasure. Take care. Have a great night now.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's see.